Horror. Love it or hate it, horror has changed the landscape of cinema forever. Horror is huge not just in America, in Asia, Europe, Africa, South America, and more. Many different people have tried it. Some succeed and some fail. The big old BBC pedophile protectors and known to give blowjobs to Bojo and Mr. Sunak. They often dabble their feet into horror, sometimes not straight horror, but sometimes dips into comedy and thriller whatsoever. Sometimes they are brilliant and sometimes they go below the radar. And no, I won't be adding this terrifying scene from Doctor Who.
It's locked! Sammy!
Ghostwatch is a British mockumentary horror TV movie first broadcast on Halloween night in 1992. It was recorded weeks in advance to it premiering. It was presented as a live broadcast. After its first and only broadcast, it had over 1 million call inquiries to the BBC switchboard. It was so haunting it has never actually been reared in the UK since 1992, but nationally it has. In Canada, it did in 2004 on the digital channel Scream for Halloween that year, and the Belgian channel Canvas in 2008. It was also available on Shudder and the Internet Archive. It starred present and journalist Michael Parkinson and Red Dwarf actor Craig Charles and Michael Smith of Top of the Pops. Michael Parkinson plays himself trying to find concrete evidence about the paranormal phenomena. He launched an investigation under a fictional house on Fox Hill Drive, Knothold, Greater London. Pamela Early, Suzanne and Kim are apparently tormented by a poltergeist named Mr. Pipes. Parkinson is soon joined by Sarah Green going live, who stays the night with the Earlys, while her husband Mike Smith, Top of the Pops, oversees the phone calls from the public who share their ghost stories. Craig Charles, Red Dwarf, interviews locals about the street's violent past. Now, Parkinson is joined by Dr. Lynn Pascoe, played by Julian Bevan, teaches a psychologist studying such phenomena. The first broadcast is normally until supernatural occurrences arise. Suzanne is caught making noises, convincing Parkinson on its falsehood. Then she develops the scratches, and then she discovers the demonic voices she has gained. Many people say Mr. Pipes have lurked in their homes. Pipes' background is pieced together. A neighbor tells them about a Victorian baby farmer who killed children and was reimagined as the bogeyman by locals. The farmer, Mother Seddons, Raymond Tunstall, was a disturbed pedophile who believed he was possessed by Mother Seddons, later hanging himself in a glory hole, soon to be eaten by his relatives' pet cats. Pascoe suggests a greater force, a possible ancient one at that. As the house grows even more dangerous, Suzanne disappears and is heard from the locked glory hole. The camera crew force the door open. Then a mirror falls and injured 18 camera crew. Suddenly, the footage shows the house has returned back to normality. Yet, Pascoe realizes it's earlier bit. She then realizes that Mr. Pipes has used the broadcast to make a nationwide SANCE circle, using it as a tool to invade homes. Then the live broadcast resumes as Pamela, Kim and the injured 18 are evacuated from the house. Insidex Green and Miller try to rescue Suzanne, but Green is pulled away. She is dragged into the cellar, and then the door slams. The program ends with Mr. Pipes taking control of the studio, causing everyone on set to flee. Parkinson wandered across the pitch-black studio, showing signs of possession by the hands of the ghostly figure known as Mr. Pipes. Even though the show was brilliant, in my opinion, when it debuted, it didn't have much positivity towards it. That was Martin Denham. You may be asking, Psycha, why are you showing me a young man for? Well, only 5 days after Ghostwatch debut, he took his own life. Martin Denham, a 18-year-old factory worker with learning difficulties, lived in a home with bad central heating system. Such pipes knocked. Denham linked that to the activity shown in the show, which caused him severe worry. After his death, his parents blamed the BBC. They claimed they hypnotized and obsessed Martin through the program. Anyways, Rip Martin. Writer Stephen Falk gained inspiration for Ghostwatch from the Enfield poltergeist, a supernatural event in Enfield, London between 1977 and 1979 with two girls, Janet and Margaret. Take a look.
The sequence of bizarre happenings which unfolded round these children and their mother in September have made the walls of the house rattle with the impact of flying objects and the sound of mysterious knockings. Soon a second family was drawn into the action. The next-door neighbours, Peggy and Vic Nottingham.
We'd been sitting listening to the knocking, and the woman next door, she called me in. We couldn't make out what it was. I heard the knocking as I walked in the front door, but I went all over the house, checked it, checked the walls, checked everything. Just couldn't make out what it was. So in the end, I thought to myself, well, there's only one thing. I'll call the police.
One of the two police officers sent to investigate made the following remarkable statement about what they heard and saw in this living room. There were 4 distinct taps on the wall, and then silence. About 2 minutes later, I heard more tapping from a different wall. The other police constable checked the walls.
Ghostwatch is like those hoax Facebook posts that announce that an alive and well celebrity like Rowan Atkinson has died in a car crash. So many people fall for it. Some doubt. There's rumors in the school playground. That doesn't mean it's bad. It's one of the BBC's best moments. Literally.
I mean, it's difficult to know, even if anybody's still with us, but if they are, this is the scene in this studio, this totally deserted studio.